Hello, my name is Wolfgang Puck, and this is the first time in Marseille, and they had Pink Floyd playing. And I was mesmerized. They played in the football stadium. I was pretty close to the speakers, Roger Waters and everybody. I think it was an amazing experience. And I'm a fan of Pink Floyd. Even today, I have it in my car. I play it in my restaurants. It was the first experience, and it lasted. It's a silly phrase. I don't like it. I think it's ridiculous. You don't say somebody who is a good tailor. You say it's a celebrity tailor. You know what? You don't say it's a celebrity designer. It's a famous designer. So I think this celebrity chef, I don't know what media made up that word, but it's still stuck to me and some other people. There was a show called Our Magazine here in LA, and I did the show, and I was so nervous, and then I had to look at myself and said, oh my God, my haircut is not right, my face looks so fat, and I was not happy. So I decided not to watch myself on TV. That was a long time ago, and I know Jim Brooks very well. When we did the reading, it was really an experience for me. But we were watching The Simpsons. My boys were really into The Simpsons. And just as a surprise, we were watching, and all of a sudden I was on The Simpsons. And you should see the kids looked at me and said, Dad, you're on The Simpsons. You didn't tell us. What's wrong with you? So it was fun for them. The few lines I said, they remembered it forever. The first restaurant I opened was Spargo in West Hollywood. I could not sleep nights before. I was sweating and said, how about if nobody gonna show up? Here I'm gonna look like a fool. I left Ma Maison, which at that time was the most successful restaurant in Los Angeles. I had guests like Orson Welles and Chuck Lemmon and so forth. They used to come almost every day for lunch or for dinner. And I talked to them, hung out with them, and drank champagne with Orson Welles. Then I left there to open my own restaurant. I was really nervous, but we opened the 16th of January in 1982. And by 8:30, I looked around in the restaurant. There was not an empty table. And that was the beginning, and it's still like that today. At Spargo, it must have been in 1982. I don't really know the date. I should have put it on my calendar, but I didn't. We ran out of brioche, and then I decided, okay, let's serve a little pizza bread with it. And then as I was doing it, I said, you know what? I'm going to put this whole thing together and put on top of the pizza. Now, nobody thought about that before me, but it seems like an ideal combination. You cook the bread, it's nice, hard, crispy. You put the cool dill creme on and then the smoked salmon on, which is cold too. So you have the hot and cold, the yin and the yang. And then I put some caviar on top or some chives on top. So I think to me, when I made it, I said, wow, this is really good. I made another one. I had a glass of champagne with it and said, this is really perfect. A restaurant in south of France called Baumanière. Before I started to work there, really, I went there for an interview. All the money I had left, I spent on the meal, and I still can taste the artichoke mousse with black truffles, the rouget with basil and tomatoes and other spices in it. I thought it was a revelation for me, and that changed my life because I started to work there a few months later, and Mr. Tuillier, who was the owner, really became my mentor. Well, I came to America in 1974 from Paris to New York. I didn't like New York that much. And then a friend of mine who owned a restaurant called La Grenouille found me a job in Indianapolis. I got so excited because I used to live in Monaco, and they have the famous Formula One race there. And the Indianapolis 500, I think in that time was even more famous than today. So I said, I want to go to Indianapolis because it's going to be just like Monaco. I took the Greyhound bus from New York City to Indianapolis, and I don't know, it took like a day and a half to get there. But I got there and said, oh my God, that's Indianapolis. It's nothing like Monaco. But I had no money to leave. I started to work in this restaurant in Indianapolis called La Tour. Stayed there for about a year or a little more, got my green card there, and then moved to LA, and I'm here in LA ever since. I met a lot of famous people in the restaurant, but I think when the King of Sweden came in 1984 to Spago with a huge motorcade and everything. His wife is German. I brought her on one of my cookbooks and signed it to her and everything. And he took it from me and said, "No, I cook at home." Then he invited me out for a drink. We only had one pandemic, which was worldwide. We had financial downturns, but never something like that where you have to walk around of a mask, where they shut you down totally and wait for months to reopen up. The last 18 months, really almost now, were really, really difficult for a lot of restaurants. We survived pretty well. A lot of small restaurants, unfortunately, didn't do so well. Like in America, they said 120,000 restaurants closed down and will never open. And most of them are little family operations. So it was really a hard time. The good thing is, Cut in London is busier than it ever was since we opened. Las Vegas, we are busy. In New York, it's doing really well. So some places, they just closed us down again. I think little by little, we get out of it. Hopefully, we don't have a relapse. Hopefully, we have the right vaccination for everybody, including myself. I got vaccinated months ago, so I feel good.